Recently, my daughter shared with me an assignment in English class that left her feeling uncomfortable. She went on to explain that one of the topics of discussion was sexual orientation. Shocked that my 10-year-old was even posed this question, I quickly reached out to the teacher via email so I could better understand the assignment. The teacher got back and explained this was part of their social and civic unit. Students were asked to focus on aspects of their identities as individuals as well as in groups. The students were given worksheets to fill out which groups they identified as belonging to. Included was a bulleted list of categories such as age, gender, race, core values, general emotional state, sexual orientation, physical appearance, economic status, sense of humor, experiences of personal trauma. A few days later, we were presented with another social identity assignment, this time in French class. The following questions were asked: identities you think about most, identities you think about least, your own identities you would like to learn more about, identities that have the strongest effect on how others perceive you, lastly, identities that have the greatest effect on how you perceive yourself. I don't see the benefit of this activity. I believe asking a 10-year-old questions like this will more likely result in the formation of a complex. I remember not too long ago when we were told the word God in the Pledge of Allegiance was too distracting for students. These are the same kids who are currently exploring their sexual identities in English class. Please explain to the parents of Enfield how that makes any sense. Please explain to me why my otherwise perfectly content daughter is now coming home concerned that there is something wrong with her for not knowing her sexual identity yet. The superintendent agrees this content may not be appropriate for the age. So tell me, who is the person deciding who gets these assignments versus who doesn't? Briefly, I'll touch on a book titled Ghost Boys. Students were shown a short teaser which can be found on YouTube. The video was short, but the message was clear. A young boy of color appears on the screen next to big bold letters spelling out "boy with toy gun." It then pans to the next screen where a white police officer is seen next to big bold letters spelling out "shot by police officer." We can all agree that racism and discrimination are wrong and have no place in the classroom, but neither does racially motivated propaganda. The Board of Ed stated CRT is not being taught in Enfield, yet these type of assignments seem to contradict that statement. We grew up respecting great people like Martin Luther King, who taught us not to judge anyone by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Yet today the schools demand students continually acknowledge their color as if it somehow defines us. Parents of Enfield have questions. Who here will be held financially and morally responsible for the students once they reach high school age and the effects of such curriculum start showing? Will there be supports in place for students experiencing self-shame due to being taught they're inherently racist because of the skin color? Are there counselors prepared for the outpouring of new questions and concerns that come with incorporating such largely personal subjects like sexuality into the classroom? These are valid questions many people have, and I hope the board is prepared to answer. Thank you for your time.